Who to use, Lizardmen edition. Let's get it. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here, and we are talking Lizardmen Faction Wars today. In this series, we talk about DDRCH, damage, debuff, revive, control, and heal as the 5 most important factors on our team for every single faction. Obviously, the nose is itchy since we're starting to record, but let's jump right into it. So, in Lizardmen, it seems like there's a lot of damage dealers available to you. However, in my opinion, there's only really one that you actually need, and that's going to be the one that everyone gets or has the ability to get, which is Rosin Scarhide. In the majority of my Faction Wars takeovers, I build Rosin for damage, and he can carry the entire faction himself. Along with the rest of the roles, he can do the majority of the damage. Now, obviously, you have Draco, you have Krisk as 2 S-tier damage dealers. Fushan, actually a very good damage dealer as well. We have this new guy, Chogger. Probably like 3 people in the world have him right now, but he is an option if you're one of those 3 people. Drake, believe it or not, can be built for damage. I don't recommend it. He needs very good gear to make him do good damage, and he's also not survivable. We have the brothers, I call them, Basilisk and Jurang. Which one is which? Let me, Basilisk is the one with the A1, that is AoE, and then the A2, that is the stun. Jurang is the one that ignores people's defense. He can also place a stun, and then he has the decreased defense at random. But, you know, both of those are reasonable champions to include. They're not the best, but they are reasonable. I put Venomage here. Maybe he should be under the debuff category, but he does such good damage with his poisons that I feel like he should be under the damage dealer category. So, no excuse for damage in this faction because you have Rosin. Under the debuff category, we also have Rosin again. He should just be in everyone's Faction War team. And if you don't have him yet, work on the fusion because everybody should fuse him. He has the decreased defense and weaken. That is very helpful against the waves or the bosses, okay? Also, obviously, we have Draco, which bring the crazy debuffs, but Roxim, actually a reasonable champion as well. And then Chogger in addition, but obviously not a lot of people have him. Jareg brings the decreased attack. Venomage is going to bring those poisons for you. Basilisk, why do I have him on the list? I don't know. He should not be there. That is a typo. Basilisk does not bring debuffs. He brings the control. Aox does the decreased attack. He also does the poisons. We have Broodlord, which is a newer champion in Raid. He has the A1 provoke. He has the ally protection block debuffs. And then he has the decreased speed, which is the reason why he's on this list. I guess you could put him on the control list as well because there's a stun alongside the decreased speed. You know, he seems alright, but I like the way he looks. And then Broadmaw has the A1 that puts a little bit... See, that should just be under the control. Because he's really freezing. He's not really debuffing. So anyway, I feel like I'm changing my mind about this debuff screen. But that's fine. You know, that's fine. Semantics. Under Revivers, obviously we have the best Reviver in the faction, Broadmaw. He is an amazing champion now. If you don't have Broadmaw, go do the Broadmaw fusion. You can do it multiple times if you want to. More on that in a minute. And then I actually put Skull Lord Vargal here because he revives the Skullsworn uncommon. Wait, the Skullsworn rare. And that is a very useful tool. So if you need the revives in your team and you have Skull Lord, I actually think he is the secret sauce for this faction. If you have him, it makes it very easy to clear. Under control, we definitely have some options. We have the two brothers there again for the stuns. They're alright. We have Fushan, who does a little bit better job with the stuns and the control. Obviously, Rosin is going to be in for your control as well, because he does that AoE decreased turn meter. Skull Lord Vargal has the single target provoke. That's a pile of garbage. He's not a great champion, but he is S tier for this faction. And then, you know, obviously Krisk coming in here as well, being like ridiculous. Vergamkar, he does have a chance to A1 stun, but like I would probably, I don't know. I don't know where to put him. I guess it's debuff. I don't know. Vergamkar is a reasonable champion to include in your team. I don't know how you want to classify him. He doesn't really fit in. Maybe you put him in the healer category, but he is definitely usable. Under the heals, I did put him under the heals, so I guess that was my thought process there. Krisk, obviously S tier. Again, if you have Krisk, you're going to be using him. Jareg, though, can be used. He has that passive that's going to get you the continuous heals. I wouldn't say that he's like the best champion ever, but I've definitely cleared the faction with him in the team before. Jizzo, do not recommend, but technically he can heal himself or somebody else. Bargain and Skathix are the two main healers for this faction. One or both of them on your team are great additions to your roster. And then we come to the rares and uncommon section. We have Skullsworn on here because he pairs with Skull Lord. I put him as a control champion because you're controlling the enemy waves and bosses to target him. He's going to be the weakest champion by far. We also do have a rare reviver that can be used, Haruspex. Just because Broadmaw is easily accessible, I don't recommend Haruspex, but maybe you want a second reviver and you want a rare option there. Metal Shaper provides a little bit of those shields, so that can be a little buffer for you. And then some people have a Saurus built as a campaign farmer. I don't recommend that, but he can be used either in a stun set or in damaging gear. So what kind of team is pretty easy that I would recommend? Well, I would recommend some type of team like this, and the team you're going to be seeing from me today is actually very similar. At the time when I made this image, I did not have Rosin Scarhide yet, but Rosin obviously fills millions of the roles, and he can just basically carry you all the way through. Now, I have two Broadmaws in this team, and I've actually, one of my friends, he cleared it with 3 Broadmaws, so shout out to you, William. I think his clear team was 3 Broadmaws, 2 Rosins, which is super, super cool. Obviously, not a lot of people are going to do that, but you can definitely run 2 Broadmaws, and I'm going to show you that here today on my account. And then you have the brothers, obviously, that can help with a lot of the control and the debuffing and all of that sort of stuff. I'm going to change out this one and put in a healer. So let's jump into that. And my team here is nothing super crazy. I only have 1 6-star champion, but Lizardmen is also my worst faction. So we're about to change that here today. This was my previous team. You could see this, and before today, Basilisk was actually at 40. So we are going to come in here. We're going to put Skathix in there and the 2 Broadmaws. We'll leave Rosin in the lead, but I guess we could put... Yeah, I don't know. Skathix in the lead for the resistance is probably the best bet because I actually do have resistance built on 3 of these champions, which we'll go over their gear in a minute. Their gear is not very important, but I'm going to show you the team in action here. I'm going to fight through a couple of these levels on auto. I should have no issues coming through here. We're going to cycle through our abilities very quickly because we have 2 speed boosters, and then we have, obviously, Rosin as a damage dealer. Now, I would love to, make this team even better, but at the moment, I feel like this is my best option. You can see those resists coming in here, and on your revivers, remember, I really recommend 250 if you can get it, resistance on them, because you don't want your revivers getting debuffed. That way, they can always revive your team. So I have tried to build the 2 Broadmaws very similar. You'll see Basilisk putting out the stuns because he's in a stun set. But what we really need to do is kill these Raglins so they don't keep reviving over and over again. I have masteries on none of these champions at this point. Rosin will have masteries, but I have not had time to get them yet. So that is something that I will need to work on. But you can see Rosin just killing everybody on his own. Everybody else sort of controlling everything. They're going to target the Basilisk here because he has the lowest HP, I believe. He has defense % chest, which maybe I need to change, but I didn't have one available in stun. So you can see here, yes, we're at an early level, but we had no problem clearing it once we have a team of 50s and Rosin. And then we can just come through and play the rest of these levels. Hello, Fireplace. We can come in and play through the rest of these levels and make a lot of progress thanks to this brand new team. It was actually pretty funny. I had the majority of this team in the sparring pit together, leveling up at the same time, and I just thought that was pretty funny. So you can see there's Skathix removing and stealing that buff, which is great. That's one of the main reasons he's in this team. He provides the shields, and stealing those buffs is super, super helpful, especially for those last couple stages in this faction. Now, I think that this team will take me all the way to level 21. I may need to level somebody up to 60. I may need to put some better gear on. I may need to level some gear up. But in general, I should be able to clear this faction with this team. I will probably put masteries on Rosin. And then if I level someone else up, I think it will be Skathix. I think he's very helpful for Arena. He has an AoE team cleanse that also puts block debuffs on. So you're getting the shield, you're getting the block debuffs, and you're getting the cleanse. And that is just an amazing combination. Also, with that buff removal ability, he can be very useful there as well. So if I have to put somebody else up, maybe it will be him. And then we are just making such great progress here. Well, that'll do it for me here today. What team are you using? And hopefully this can help you make as much progress in your Lizardmen Faction Wars as what I have made here today. I'm going to go ahead and get this started, and we're going to try to clear as many levels in Lizardmen today as possible. And if you are interested, or you're curious, or you need help in any other factions, check out the playlist at the end of this video. I have a breakdown of every faction, tips and tricks for all of the different faction wars, how to gear your champions, etc. I guess I should probably back out here and show the gear before I actually finish the video. So let me do that real quick. Rosin has enough accuracy. He's very slow, and he has a little bit of crit stats. Not enough. Okay. These 3 champions are going to be very similar. The goal is to get them above 40,000 HP if possible. You know, trying to get them up to 200 speed, and then 250 resistance, over 200 accuracy. You can see I didn't really achieve that goal here, but I also didn't glyph these. They also don't have masteries. This one is closer, but the HP is a little bit low. And then Skathix, same kind of formula here, but he's a little bit too slow, a little bit not quite enough resistance. If I could switch the resistance and accuracy, that would be helpful. And then we have Basilisk here in a stun set, and his total stats are pretty not great, but he is serving his role as that stun set. And then he also has the auto revive on himself, which is nice. So it just, we can cycle through our revives and using Basilisk that will auto revive. The nice thing is he puts the block damage on himself when he revives too. So when you get to that 21 boss, then he's not going to kill him right away because he's going to have that block damage on. So that'll do it for me here today. Ooh, I finished first place in Dragon. Let's go. Let me go ahead and grab that real quick. Very nice. And there's a Fire Knight tournament that has just started. I'm probably going to skip that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm MtgJedi. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to collect some rewards, keep fighting through some more stages, and making progress on my account. It's about time for Lizardmen. Let's go.